Oh, planning for the unexpected. It almost seems like an oxymoron. But when it comes to your retirement planning, there are things you can do to lessen the impact of an unexpected crisis. Here to talk about that and answer other important retirement questions is Ohio's retirement coach, Greg Taylor, president of Legacy Retirement Group. Happy Monday, Greg.
Happy Monday.
All right. Yeah, that's kind of an oxymoron too, right? Sometimes, right?
Yeah, but always expect the unexpected.
Exactly. And last week we were talking about the possibility of a Donald Trump win, right? Or whatever was going to happen, no matter who won, and kind of some market volatility that usually comes along with any election. It proved to be true, exactly what you said. I mean, this is something that you have been through and you know kind of how it works, right?
That's right. And again, expect the unexpected. And the markets are going to be volatile whenever something new happens, something unusual. I don't think really anybody in the major media outlets predicted a Trump win.
Right.
So the markets reacted very negatively. Some very shrewd investors took advantage of that overnight. And then, in fact, they shut the markets down overnight due to that. And then, of course, we've rallied back and we've hit some new highs again since the election.
Right, and people were buying low, selling high. I mean, that's the whole run of the stock market
That
there.
is.
So our 401ks, there was a lot of talk, I know, on social media the next day even. Everybody talking about, okay, what does this mean for our retirement? All the market volatility. So what do you have to say to them as far as our 401ks impact on this?
I think with our 401ks, we have to be dedicated to a strategy. Now, the real problem that we're seeing, and I met with 3 families last week that they're really concerned about their 401ks, and the idea is that they aren't getting any help. I think that's probably the biggest challenge for those that are participating in their 401ks. And by the way, if you're not participating, please start participating in your 401k. But the challenge is, where do I go for help? Where do I put my money? Should I be changing the way that I'm invested there? Should I just go to one of those, target date funds where, I got a 2025 or 2030 fund and just kind of let it go on autopilot? So I think that's the challenge. But once you have a strategy, maybe it needs to be rebalanced from time to time. Maybe as things, start to get a little more volatile, the closer you are to retirement, the more important that is.
Okay, Greg, so do you think that the markets have stabilized for the most part? Can we expect some more swings? What are we looking forward to in the future?
Well, I think we can definitely expect some more swings simply because historically, we know that there's always volatility after a 2-term president leaves office. So when President Obama leaves office in January and Donald Trump takes over, Donald Trump's probably going to get the blame for what happens.
Sure.
But truth is, it probably didn't matter who got elected. We're going to see some swings in the markets. I think we will see a correction next year. We're overdue for one. For one, we've got the debt in our country. We've got some real, economically, we're not as strong as it appears on the surface, I don't believe. And the markets are truly, I believe, overvalued right now. So you have to be really careful. I think there are some swings coming. Now, it's not time to panic.
Okay.
But it is time to get a smart plan in place.
So what do you see overall then for our economy? Do you think people are going to have good news in the years ahead? Or, I know you say don't panic, obviously, but what should people be feeling right now?
Well, I think what people should be feeling is short term, we're going to see some volatility. Long term, the markets do grow, but it depends on how close you are to retirement. See that thing about if you have $500,000 and you watch it go down to $300,000, are you going to be able to stay true to your long-term objectives emotionally? And I think the answer to that in most cases is no.
Okay.
And it's proved out to be true. Dalbar has done extensive studies on this, and they tell us that the markets have averaged a little over 9% over the years, but investors have gotten less than half of that because they buy at the wrong time, they sell at the wrong time, they're not true to their long-term objectives because emotions do take over, and it's difficult. When you watch, think about it, if you work 30 years to accumulate this nest egg and all of a sudden a third of it is gone.
Yeah. Oh.
It's hard to stay true to your objectives.
Very hard. Okay, but that's the advice you always have, right? Don't panic, don't make emotional decisions.
But there are smarter ways to plan too. So there's one thing about riding that roller coaster all the way up and all the way back down. There's other tools available, though, where we don't have to necessarily ride the roller coaster ride that far, where we can have a floor attached to our portfolio so it's more predictable, which in fact does help people stay more true to their objectives.
Okay, and we'll have a great offer coming up in our next segment when Kristen joins us, and we will have some pressing questions that really relate to a lot of people out there when it comes to their retirement.